Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News channel. One of the most common questions I get asked is how much crypto do I need to become a millionaire? So we're going to discuss how much crypto do you need to become a millionaire by the end of next year, around a year from now. How much do you need to be a millionaire? How much do you need to be the big man around the block? How much do you need to become the wolf of Inu Street? I'm not really sure if you really want to become a wolf on Inu Street, but heck, whatever. Now, if you're going to stick with Bitcoin, you probably need like $300,000 or more. Because, Bitcoin 150K by the end of next year, I think is actually a fairly bullish projection, but it's totally achievable depending what we do. Remember, Bitcoin did go from 20K to over 60K during 2021, or like from the end of 2020 to 2021. So you could have cashed out at 1/3. So if you had if you put in, let's say 300K a year ago, there was a chance you could have cashed out for $1 million this year. We're not counting taxes, of course. So if you stick with Bitcoin, you probably need about $300,000. Ethereum, you might need slightly less. Some people are saying 10K for Ethereum. Even if Ethereum goes to 10K and you buy right now, that's roughly a 2.5x, 2.6x. And you still would need, like $400,000. It might actually go past 10K. We're going to say you need at least $250,000. Probably slightly more than that if you stick with Ethereum. BNB and things might actually have more, BNB and below it, they might have a little bit more flexibility. Remember, BNB was at $5 a couple of years ago. So if you invested, $10,000, just in 2018, you could have cashed out for $1 million in BNB. So BNB, realistically, I would say could probably quintuple. Looking at $85 billion market cap, I think it can actually get to where Ethereum is right now. But remember, BNB is centralized, so I think growth is going to be somewhat limited because everyone knows they're actually centralized. If you're looking at like 5x, maybe $2,500, maybe $150,000 to $200,000 you need at BNB right now. And of course, all these projections are if things go well. If we go into a multi-year bear market, well, then you're going to need more than $1 million to remain a millionaire by the end of 2022. But we're thinking if the things go well. Solana is also centralized like BNB, but it is significantly smaller. And the various hacks don't seem to have actually bothered Solana. I did not include USDT because, you're going to need roughly $1 million to be a millionaire with USDT next year because it doesn't really change. I'm actually very surprised that USDT is at 98.7 cents and not a dollar. It's actually really low for USDT. And if you want a quick swing trade, I would just actually buy USDT right now, assuming you don't think it's going to go kaput. It'll probably go up to a dollar fairly fast. So that's a good 1% gain. Solana, I would think you need at least like maybe $100,000 to $150,000. I do think like the centralization is going to hamper its growth. It's been attacked successfully 3 times in the last, I think 6 or 7 months. And I can see attacks mounting, whether by other crypto believers or fanatics, enemies, or just the such. So Solana, you probably need like $100,000, possibly more. XRP depends on the lawsuit. I honestly don't think XRP is going to get past $5 anyways. So you probably need like somewhere between $150,000 $200,000 for the $1 million. In terms of ADA is a hard one to gauge. They don't have any dApps out yet. So I don't really know if they're going to go 10x. Even in a bull run, they might do 10x. So let's just say $100,000. I think $10 is kind of where I see the ceiling for ADA within the next 12 months. I don't know how fast the ecosystem is going to develop. Terra Luna actually, I think, has more potential to actually grow. I mean, they've built their own, ecosystem around their stablecoin, and it's actually going very, very well. And I can see this more than 10x, so you might need like $80,000 to get to $1 million with Terra Luna. And plus, their stablecoin is the only one, it's really the only one that isn't really tied to the dollar value. Now, it's the only one out of the top 5. There's other stablecoins that aren't tied to the dollar. AVAX, I'm not really sure. You probably need like $70,000, $80,000 to make $1 million. DeFi, I think, is going to do very, very well. DOT, I'm not really sure, but I can't really comment on DOT. I don't know how the parachain auction thing is going on. I think it's doing pretty well. Doge and Shiba we're not going to talk about because those can pump due to Elon Musk and those can also dump due to Elon Musk. So I don't really know what Elon Musk's thinking, and I don't really care to guess. Polygon, I think, has massive potential. The thing is, like, if Bitcoin goes crazy, Ethereum's going to go crazy, and people are going to want a layer 2 solution. Polygon, I think, can like 20x. So maybe like $50,000, $60,000. Now that's for all the major coins. Like if you go down to like VeChain, VET obviously went to 25 cents, but I don't think that's anywhere near its top if Bitcoin goes to 150,000. I think it can go well over $1 if Bitcoin gets to 150,000. So you probably still need about $40,000, $50,000 to get right now in crypto to get $1 million with VeChain. Also keep an eye on FTT and other things. Elrond, probably the same thing, $40,000, $50,000 depending on how well it does. But if you go way down, like if you get to things like Safe Haven, which have like a fully diluted market cap of $57 million, you might only need $10,000, $20,000 to actually get to $1 million. These things can blow up really big. Like Safe Haven in itself, I've talked about it before. Even if it goes to 100x, the fully diluted market cap would only be 5.7 billion. Yes, it'd be a major crypto, but when Bitcoin is when Bitcoin is like, Bitcoin is $150,000, $5 billion market cap coin isn't really going to mean much. I mean, a 5 billion market cap coin right now would barely put you in the top 30. You'd probably be around like 32, 33 or so. $5 billion coin when Bitcoin's at 150,000 probably wouldn't even get you in the top 50. So you don't have to be like a super large project to actually be $5.7 billion market cap. And SHA actually Safe Haven has many projects on its chain. They're launching a DEX. They're actually launching a DEX next month. So you might only need $10,000, $20,000 to make $1 million. Now, if you go even further down, this is pretty far down. This is number 822. If you go like, if you pick up like one of the newer newer NFT minting coins or newer like games, you might even go even lower than that. I mean, you might only need like $5,000, $6,000. Remember, some of these coins at the very bottom, if someone picks them up, they can go insane. Like Shiba Inu last year started off with many more zeros than you can count. I mean, people have been able to sell off for like 100, 1,000x on Shiba Inu. So that's actually where we're at right now. Another way you can do this is yield farming, like I am with VexVET. The thing is, if you yield farm something like OHM or one of their forks, you have to be able to cash out on time. If you time it right, you could actually get $1 million off of like $10,000 or less. But you actually have to time it right? Because a lot of those are going to be rug pulls, and you run a real risk of losing all your money. That's the thing with like things that have yield farming, 1,000, like 1,000% or above. Yes, they can be very lucrative, but you can also lose a ton of money because they're rug pulls. Investing in solid projects is a lot less risky, but it may not have the potential for ROI. But the further down you go, the more ROI potential you have. If you stay in the top 5, top 10, you're probably not going to be able to make more than 5, 10x at the most. Go down to number 30, you go down to number 20, 30, you might have like 20x opportunity. You go down even further to something like Safe Haven, that's when the 100x opportunities actually open up. And Safe Haven is by no means the only one. There's many cryptos down there that we've looked at today, including many metaverses that if they get big, they can go really crazy in price. I also think I do know the next two big things in crypto. I do think they are going to be NFTs with DeFi systems, well, not NFTs, but like DEX, metaverses with DeFi systems built in game. And I know a couple of those. And also like platforms where you can actually collateralize not only your crypto, but your NFTs, synthetic assets, and other things as well. PBX would actually be one of those things to actually look at. So that's kind of what I think. That's about how much money you need to actually make $1 million next year. I mean, like, if you're really willing to take chances with things like Safe Haven, farm with like, the Meyer Dex and Elrond, or with like the Vex stuff, you might only need like 10 or 20,000 as well, depending on if you know how to cash out in time. But otherwise, if you want to stay in the top, that's still fine, but you probably need in the hundreds of thousands of dollars to be a millionaire by the end of 2022. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button, and I will see you guys later.